In this video, I will share with you just how much fun I had clearing Stormwind with one mask of the Long Night, doing full clear on my Boomkin Druid. Because Boomkins are just so much fun. It's just so much fun. Oh my god. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Gyro here. Today, once again, we're looking at my Boomkin Druid, who I've geared up a tiny bit. As you just saw, I have a Mythic Plus. Mythic Plus gave me a staff, which is better than the PvP staff I had. I also leveled up my cloak a tiny bit, ranked it up to level 14, to rank 14. I still have all possible talents. I am going to use all buffs. I'm going to use goulash. I'm gonna resort to eating a kebab a couple of times through the run. So you will see that I am using those little boosts and self-sustain assists. But aside from that, this is just once again to showcase to you how wonderfully fun, really cheeky, really crazy Boomkin can be in a Horrific Vision, in this case of Stormwind. Lovely, lovely spec. Absolutely loving it. Can't believe that I haven't been playing it much in the past, but this is going to be corrected, my friends. This is going to be corrected over the next few videos. Trust me, I am going to push on him. I don't know about really top level of 4 or 5 masks. I don't know if I'll get there, but I'm going to have as much fun as possible with this, what I have. As you can see, Mask of the Long Night is the only one available to me right now. If you didn't see my earlier videos, very early ones where I was kind of, well, reviewing masks, if you like, I think Mask of the Long Night is the worst one because it takes half of your sanity away. It doesn't even give you a chance to avoid boss mechanics and to save your sanity. It just takes half of it away. So instead of 1,000 sanity, you're running with 500. 500 is not much when everything is happening, everything is exploding, and everything is going on. So Boomkin is fantastic. I'm getting a little bit more confident with Boomkin, as you will see in this video. So first of all, yes, I am going to use kebab. Yes, the food buff, the goulash, is running already active on me. And right now we see the procs. We will see the procs of Gift of the Titans now and then. So the usual. That stuff is not a surprise for you. But you will just hopefully follow me along as you'll see how I rally up the large, huge groups and I just AoE them. I dot them all up. I'm using a talent. Once again, this is not a class guide. I might do one once I feel more confident with the class. But I'm using the talent, excuse me, the one where the Moonfire, I cast Moonfire. Upon each cast of Moonfire, it casts automatically a second Moonfire on a target next to mine. So basically everything gets dotted up much faster. That's basically the point. As I'm targeting and as I'm dotting things up, they get targeted much faster. I'm using Azurite powers on my armor, the ones that are boosting damage of Starfall to enemies that are affected by Moonfire, again to the extent that's available to me. My gear is slightly better than it was last time, but nothing too crazy, and I still don't have any particularly useful corruption effects. So that is the only gimping factor. So as soon as I start getting some corrupted gear from Horrific Visions, from other sources, something that will give me at least infinite stars, but I would love Twilight Devastation, obviously. As soon as I get that, that's when we will start some serious pushing of 3 and 4 masks, I think. At the moment, as you can see, I just got everyone, I just get them all up. And I just start dotting up and just start, wow, just bring it on, guys, bring it on. It's just, I don't know, it's just so crazy much fun that I'm not even, like at this moment that you're seeing. First of all, everything is dead. Everything is dead. And second of all, I am just not even that stressed about the fact that I don't have much sanity to play with. Normally, I have to honestly tell you, on some other characters that that feel different, even on my beloved Demon Hunter, even on Death Knight, who are solid as tanks and whatever, you kind of I don't know, it's always a bit more stressful when you have to run right into the middle of the group and they stun you and they're all in such proximity to you. You never feel like you keep them at a distance. You never feel like you keep them at a distance, unless you're playing obviously a pet class. Because I had pretty good results with my Beastmaster Hunter, for example. You could look back on the channel, take a look at the one of the videos. I think it was a repurpose of a live stream when I was trying to diversify and publish some content on Twitch. I think I repurposed a couple of live streams. They were not the best quality, which is why I'm not doing them anymore. But um, over here, you see that I used entangling roots, mass entanglement, for example. It's wonderful, this class. It's wonderful. It's illegally cheaty. I stealth, I can entangle roots, run away, heal up, keep them at a distance, keep jumping like I have issues like of mental nature. It's just crazy fun. If you have not, honestly, guys, trust me, if you have not played a Boomkin before, and if this won't make you try a Boomkin, come on, like, what's wrong with you? Honestly, it's so much fun that it's worth your try. It's worth your try. So, what was I saying before? I completely forgot. Just because this footage that I'm just commenting on right now, it distracts me. It distracts me again, and it brings me back into the moment that I'm trying to comment on and observe. So it's very hard to have a separate narrative, some to convey some thought. It will come back to me, or whatever. Or you will talk to me in the comments down below, and I'll comment on that again. In this particular case, all I'm saying is that I rally or everyone up. I round them all up, but somehow with the Boomkin that allows me to keep people at bay. I think I was talking about the Beastmaster Hunter. That obviously did allow me to do the same thing because you have a pet, and pet allows you to keep enemies at bay a little bit and stay a little bit further away, right? That's what I was going to say to you with that repurposed live stream footage thing that demonstrated that. So I had a full clear of something like Ogrimmar with on Beastmaster Hunter with Mask of the Long Night active as well, and that also went relatively effortlessly. But I will tell you right now, completely seriously, it was nowhere near as much fun as this Boomkin. Nowhere near as much fun. It's fun to be dishing out heaps of damage. It's fun to be successful. It's fun to be clearing. It's fun to be beating content. Yes. But how do you do it? How do you do it? What's the process like? And I think this is exactly when we live in the game, we live in the moment. Does it take you in? Because for me as a veteran of World of Warcraft who played heaps of classes for many years and all that kind of stuff, and you see the proof of all these classes, all these characters that I have on my account, I often show you my loading screens and stuff like that. For me, as look, sad, it's not intended to be said, but as sad as it might sound to you, for me, there are only a few things that still excite me like this in World of Warcraft. And obviously, new expansions, obviously, new content excites me. And Horrific Visions, at first, when they were released in 8.3, I was really, really excited about them. Now, well, look, it's content that's been there for a few months, and I've been really playing practically only them on different classes. So they get a bit, repetitive slash stale. So for me, a discovery of a spec that I haven't tried yet and that turns out to be so much fun is a huge thing. Is a huge thing to my longevity in the game. And I wish that to you, my friends, because presumably you're similar to me if you're sticking around, if you're supporting me, if you're watching these videos. Presumably you're also casuals, you're also people who have played World of Warcraft or who are trying to find a little bit of that groove and like to virtually communicate with a person like me. At least I want to believe that. I want to think so. And if you are like that, then you're very welcome here. You are in the right place. And if you somehow are not subscribed yet, why not? Why not? You're very much appreciated here. You're very welcome here, and your support is much appreciated. Subscribe now. So over here, okay, things were happening over there. Yeah, while we were ranting. Boomkin is wonderful. If I didn't say that often enough, I probably will say it a few more times before you get sick of it. I find it so one thing that you will see, and we're a little bit too early to that point, but you will see it, is when we fight Umbric, when we fight Magister Umbric in Mage District, you will see another thing that is of tremendous value that is not obvious to us until we get there. And yes, it's applicable to any druid, not just a Boomkin, but it did not even cross my mind before I went there, okay? But I'm immune to polymorph. I'm completely immune to polymorph. I'm not even immune in a sense that he polymorphs me and I can polymorph out of it. I can just shapeshift out of it, right? No, you will see, and I am running ahead of myself, it's fine. But you will see that when Umbric, and his main annoyance is the fact that he polymorphs you. If you don't kick him, you are in trouble. But polymorph doesn't even work on me. In addition to everything, I'm immune to polymorph. It's just freaking amazing. One thing that I am susceptible to is I'm susceptible to leaden feet. Leaden feet do slow me down, yes, and I need to, either control my movements a little bit. But as a ranged DPS person, as someone who can entangle people, who can throw in trends that taunt for you once in a while, I did not find that much trouble with leaden feet. I did not find that much trouble with leaden feet at all. What else to say? The amount of damage that I was able to put on all these mobs was fairly substantial, even though I'm right now looking at the recount. Of course, I need multiple targets and I have some ramp up time until I dot everyone up and all my AoE is up and all of that kind of stuff is up. But yeah, I can, at this item level, which is still fairly casual, right? I can get to 35,000, I can get to 40,000 DPS, and that's pretty okay. Like and on the opener, when the cooldowns are available, I can do that on a single target, which is also nothing to sneeze at, So it's pretty good, I would say. What caused me troubles? So again, maybe tiny bit ahead of time. Matthias Shaw is a bit of an issue if you don't know how to move around those eyes of chaos that he summons. They especially start hurting you when you have the mask of Daredevil on. I don't have it right now, but I don't have much sanity to play with to start with, so it's still not a joke. Yeah, it's still not a joke. But when any sanity damage is multiplied by 400%, right, and that's mask of Daredevil for you, then those eyes, you guys don't want to look at them. You really don't want to look at them. So you need to practice what I'm doing right now here. And I'm not doing it perfectly, but you still see the general thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to turn my back to them. I'm trying to turn my back to them. And another illegal thing for druids and for boomkins specifically is you can see 90% of the time, what am I doing? 90% of the time, I'm just recasting Sunfire and Moonfire on everything. Sunfire, Moonfire, and the AoE, yeah, because it just continues damaging everyone in the area, and I continue running around like a crazy dino chicken, right? And I love it. I love every second of it. So I'm relying very heavily on instant casts. So with speaking of the eyes, you can cast a Moonfire on them when you're even looking away from them. And that is what I was trying to do in that place. So I just don't speak fast enough, so situation changes and I still have to catch up and explain. Um, in this run, I have to say, somehow Orgrimmar is known to be easier than Stormwind. We have established that in the earlier videos on this channel. If you haven't been around back then, or if you haven't watched others who basically confirm this thought, it's not just my impression. But basically, I found fewer opportunities to skip trash mobs in stealth than I found in Orgrimmar. In Orgrimmar as well, that there are checkpoints, there are invisibility seeing mini bosses or just big dudes like this who are not mini bosses, but they still see through stealth, things like that. But over here, take a look. I run into here, right? And I never pulled that group from far end there, but I pulled everyone. Everyone. And it's not even my best geared character. It's just because I know that I can keep them at bay. I know that even before these annoying tentacles, underground tentacles, this is where I mess up. Did you see? I messed up there, and I think that's where cranial defibrillation went off. I couldn't see it very well, but I believe that's where that happened. So I think here, I got a bit overzealous and I pulled too much. I'm pretty sure cranial defibrillation went off there. So if you are doing something similar, maybe be a tiny bit more conservative. I just got overexcited. Honestly, I just, hold my hand up. I had too much excitement, too much fun, and that's just what happened. Now, we're coming to my most hated mini boss. It's not the most hated mob in Stormwind, because most hated mob for me are those underground tentacles. Bleh, those things. I freaking hate them, okay? I absolutely hate them because they waste my time. Not because of how hard they are, but because they waste my time. They hide and I have to stand there like an idiot, wait for them to resurface. But this guy, Inquisitor Darkspeak, whoever named him, the Inquisitor Darkspeak, for some reason, and I'm probably brute forcing it a bit too much. I'm probably facing him. I don't think you can interrupt him. I don't know if turning away, whatever, something simple like that, that I am just not utilizing. I don't know if that helps with him, but he somehow, and with the Boomkin you saw I had no problems, but with other classes I do have problems with him, a lot of problems with him. I tried to push him on Windwalk, I tried to push him on DK. I somehow always end up he simply ends up doing a lot of damage to me, a lot of damage. Here, I think I saved cooldowns and he was hardly an issue, even with this Mask of the Long Night on. No problem at all. But really, I have to say, from the mini bosses, he is my least favorite one, even though he's not in one of the really hard areas. There is another mob, which everyone knows, and I don't know its name, but we will see it shortly. It's that aberration that runs around Umbrix Tower in Mage District. That aberration can be a pain, especially if you go there for the very first time to the Mage District. If you're there for the very first time, you're just like, oh my god, get me out of here! What is going on? It's really it could really mess you up. It could really mess you up fast. Just wait, stand by. It's coming shortly. Yep. Hard not to think ahead and start thinking about what I want to say to you, because I know it takes time to say stuff, but then the situation has passed and we moved on. So I try to preempt it a little bit for you. Um, so yeah, so that aberration is a pain and it can be a problem, especially if you're playing one of the classes that needs to be close and is susceptible to leaden feet. And the debuff of leaden feet obviously is on in that area. I can't remember if in this run I had it. I think I did, but let's see. We'll just go in there and we'll check it out. That aberration is an issue, but for some reason, overall, my impressions from Horrific Vision so far, that guy who we just killed, that Duckspeak dude, he is a secret dark horse that you need to watch out for, because he'll mess you up, especially with the masks on. Oh my god, he'll mess you up. So watch out. This eye here, I know it's just the same eye as was there on the bridge, possibly. I don't know what's up with this guy. But again, just I simply get a knee-jerk reaction every single time I see this first eye upon this entry into Mage District, because this guy has a potential to also dish out quite a lot of damage if you leave him alone. I never stopped and practically like inspected exactly what he's doing, but I have a feeling, unconfirmed, that his beam that he starts casting, it increases in damage possibly the longer you let him cast it. Unconfirmed, guys, gut feel, because he messed me up in the past on some other characters. So right now when I come here, that eye gets it instantaneously. Like I'm just not taking any chances with that guy. Yeah. Don't know why that particular one, but watch out, right? So here I use my first orb, and I can't believe that even on this reduced sanity amount, yeah, and on my intellect based but healers trinkets that I'm using, healers trinkets, right? So what I'm saying is there is room for optimization still, room for optimization, plenty of it. I can't believe that this is the first time I use the orb. And this is the aberration. Let's take a look at what it's called. Boundless Corruption. So Boundless Corruption, if you stand in that cone when it starts casting, and it telegraphs that thing, it telegraphs it well. But if you're not a chicken like me, and if you don't have a pet, and if you cannot keep your distance, if you need to be in its ugly face all the time, right? then you could get caught in leaden feet or stunned by something else, and then that cone hits you. And if, for example, Mask of Daredevil is on and damage to your sanity is multiplied by 400%, you can write a letter home. You dead. You straight away dead. That's what it is. These guys, you generally, I knew that my AoE is doing its damage. I kind of wasn't particularly panicking, even though my health dips here quite a bit. I had to run off and I had to heal. I had to use Swiftmend, which is where the restoration affinity helps a lot. Those guys, they start casting, and at first they are not dangerous, but then they start casting fear. And as we've established in the previous videos and the runs of Horrific Visions, one thing, in case it's not obvious to you yet, my friends, one thing you need to watch out for are stuns, fears, and anything that incapacitates you, not even direct damage. And I'm saying that as a man who suffered from direct damage and died in the past, but I still believe that incapacitation is the main thing that then puts you in the way of damage. You cannot move, you cannot do anything. But something like this, something as illegal as this Dino Chicken that I'm playing, I pray to Blizzard gods that it never gets nerfed so that I can continue enjoying it in Shadowlands. No, I'm not saying that it's going to be my main yet, but honestly, these runs make me feel so invigorated with the amount of fun I had, and I want to have fun in the game, right? We don't want to treat it as a job, we want to have fun in the game. And this is the most fun I had in a long time in World of Warcraft. Take it from me, yes? Um, so highly, highly recommended. What was I saying? Yeah, we're just gonna clear these guys out. Let's just wait a little bit, and then we'll comment on Umbric, because Umbric is just, I think, one mini boss away. The mini boss that's coming up. Let's see. I have my cooldowns down, so I have my cooldowns not available. I do not have my beam, my solar beam available. I do not have my trance available, and that guy, Zardeth of the Black Claw. Yeah, whatever. So that's Zardeth. He gets harder on higher masks. We have only one mask, obviously. That's only 25% more toughness and 25% more damage. Not a big deal. He can overwhelm you, and he can actually dish out quite a bit of damage, like respectable amount of damage. So you need to make sure you are trying to pump out as much as possible on him. Obviously, for Boomkin, Trent, and I believe it's a talent. That's how proficient I am. I believe it's a talent. I don't think every Boomkin has trends. I think it's a talent you need to spec into. Unconfirmed. In case you're wondering if I think that you need this talent, if it's a talent, I think you absolutely need it. 100%. And if it's not a talent, okay, and if you have it, but you think, situational, I don't use it all the time, come on, man, you have to use it all the freaking time when it's available. They're wonderful tank. They're a wonderful tank. They take away all these mobs. They group taunt. They are great to drop. You rally groups up, then you drop your trends, and they keep them away from you for a little bit of time. They're not very tanky. They're gonna be dead quickly enough, but enough for you to get off a cast, so run off a little bit and get off a cast of Azerite Beam, let's say, of the lens of the focusing iris, for example. All right, over here, Umbric. Umbric becomes available if your trends are on him. If your trends are on him, then even from a distance you can cast spells on him. So he is in line of sight, basically. But if your trends are not on him, like right now, I wouldn't be able to cast because he seems obstructed as a target. I think they did it on purpose so that it wouldn't be too easy. He tries to polymorph me, but good luck to you, my man. You can't polymorph me. I'm a druid. I'm an illegal chicken. I'm gonna mess you up. And there we go. Down he goes. And believe it or not, like, this is time flies when you're having fun, as they say, right? Overused, but true. And we're done. We're pretty much done. All we have is Illyria. And Illyria is a pain. Let's make no mistake. Illyria is a pain. Illyria is very good. By good, I mean Illyria is not too bad for pet classes, because you set a pet off and then you can hide behind the columns and pet continues to do damage. In my case, my only pet are trends, and they're available only for a short period of time, so I cannot really thoroughly rely on them throughout the fight, but a couple of times I think I'm able to get them cast the spell, use them, and I think they're able to bash on Illyria while I run around the columns. Additionally to that, I basically have dots on her. I have a Moonfire, I have a Sunfire, I can still continue casting my AoE, and that's very good. And then I have single target spells. As you notice, I very rarely use spells that have a cast time. For obvious reason, because I like mobility, I like running around, I need to move all the time, and my other spells seem to be doing a pretty decent job at damaging the targets without me having to resort to these long casts. I do cast them a few times, especially if I know that I have a few charges accumulated, which basically means that the cast time is reduced as well. And I definitely am not going to miss out on the opportunity to cast the Azerite Beam, because that's 100, 120, 130,000 damage in your face. And that's certainly something that needs to happen. You cannot miss out on that. So obvious things, guys. I think we're about at the time for closing thoughts. I know I already raved about Boomkin feeling like it's cheating, but the last thought I left you with was that in Orgrimmar there are a lot of skips available for a Boomkin, for any Druid spec, because stealth goes a long way in Orgrimmar. Here in Stormwind, I dare say I don't think that stealth goes as far away as it does in Orgrimmar, but I still believe that Boomkin, just due to the nature of how the class works, just due to the nature of being ranged and having plenty of instant casts available to you, plenty of AoE things, ability to entangle the targets and run away and then AoE them, ability to have trends once in a while on hard casts, on hard targets, on mini bosses. You can save them, you can plan your thing. It's just wonderful. It's heaps of fun. And as I said in the sort of title of this video, in the thumbnail, if this is not fun, if you didn't think that this was fun, well, first of all, try it. Maybe it doesn't come across as such, even though I did my best to convey kind of how it makes me feel. But if this is not fun, what is? Tell me what is fun if that's not fun in your opinion. Your comments, your support are most appreciated. Really love you guys. Thanks very much for helping me grow. It's just kind of the bigger the club is, the more people I communicate with, the more people I feel like I'm producing these videos for, the more I want to do it. And hopefully you would agree that the higher the quality of production becomes. At least I want to believe that. And I'm going to continue bringing it to you every couple of days' time. In case you're not subscribed yet, your patronage is very much appreciated, not taken for granted. So please consider subscribing and liking the video. Let's take a look at what I got in the big chest, and I will talk to you very soon, next time. Further adventures coming up.